Hey, peace and blessings to you. My name is Jerry B. I am the Entre Musician, and so are you. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Entre Musician Podcast. This is the space where we concentrate on the mindset, the discipline, and the focus of the Entre Musician. Today's episode, absolutely no exception. In fact, today, we are continuing to focus on my process of having 3 of my songs mixed and subsequently mastered in Dolby Atmos at Across the Road Productions in Katy, Texas, under the direction of Dave Inninger and Danny Jones, 2 fantastic guys. Last week, we left you with sort of a cliffhanger because they had sent me the tracks and I was unable to properly hear what I needed to be listening to in order to approve the mixes. The problem was I did not have an adequate Dolby renderer, so I couldn't hear it. I mean, these are some of the things that you have to think about, and yet Dave was recommending to me the purchase of the Avid Dolby renderer, which what happened is my DAW, PreSonus Studio One, released 6.5, and it now contains Dolby Atmos for sure. So let's pick up where we left off and not leave any more suspense.
Hey fellas, you will never believe this. First of all, how you doing?
Doing good, Jerry.
Good to see you.
You got my text, I hope, where you could hear the emotion in the first one, you could hear the excitement.
Well, yeah, we got your text. Tell me what's going on, because it sounds like a really good option,
man.
If this is real. So
let me tell you, you were telling me about the Advent before, $299 on that, and I was talking to the wife, getting ready to break it down. But this morning,
by the way, that's called wisdom.
You're not kidding. But I was telling her because, obviously we've had to talk about the entire process, right? So anyway, I'm telling her, and we're, my wife is very supportive. We're about to make the jump. But this morning I get up, and in my inbox, PreSonus Studio One 6.5 with Dolby Atmos render. I mean, the real thing. No upgrade fee. It was a free update. And I saved $300 just like that.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. Great. So good for them for doing that, because first off, they're behind a little bit, but they're catching up.
Yeah.
So and a lot of the DAWs, I mean, there's different philosophies. We're using the window, as you know, which means the renderer is built in to the DAW. So it's like really, I started to say easy, but there's nothing really easy about this, but it's integrated anyway. So some of the DAWs, they have the renderer, but it's not built in, it's accessible. So you've got to create a communication channel, 124 channel. You got to use something like Maddie, something pretty Dante, something pretty beefy in order to and the renderer sits on another computer. So you've got to network them together, if you will, and which is, that's my area of expertise. But still, I would much rather have it integrated into the DAW. So, man, I'm glad to hear this, because first off, it saved you $300,
right?
And second, that's interesting to hear PreSonus has done that. It makes me curious more. So,
yeah.
So, okay, well, one other thing then. Good news,
right? Of course, I don't know how to work it yet.
So let's do this, right? While you're figuring out how to get it installed, get it set up, look for this though. So I'm going to send you now. We're going to move beyond the binaural files. Okay, so the output of Nuendo and the file that goes to mastering, the one you want to listen to, is called an ADM file. Okay,
ADM,
and it's a broadcast wave file. And that one you should be able to import in, and then you'll get the full. You're gonna, I was talking about MP4s last time and
Yeah.
binaural files. Well, this one's going to give you the full Dolby Atmos experience. Now, you're still going to be listening through headphones. However, I think it'll be much, much better.
Okay.
So you're going to be listening to it like we listen to it off of, and we listen to when we're mixing, we still use these headphones
Okay.
to do the mixing.
The
So,
Olo.
yeah, well, and we try all of them, like it's just more references. So, however, this is interesting. So, well, look, let's not stay long on this one because we're right in the middle of discussing marriage. And I don't
Cool.
mean our marriages to our wives. I mean your song marriage, because we've opened it up and Danny started mixing it, and we were just listening and stuff. So don't let us keep going because we're trying to get these out to you. So
Well, they've got some great videos. This guy, Studio One Revealed, Mike Injo,
okay.
explains it really very, very well. So I'll spend the evening watching, learning, pushing the same buttons that he's pushing, and we'll get together in a couple of days.
Okay. And then when you're ready, just call us. Either one of us could probably help you.
Cool.
In terms of, the hope would be it would be similar to Nuendo, like how it works. It should be, but we'll see. But yeah, one of us will be around to help you kind of get it configured. Once you
Sure.
get it installed and just kind of up and running, right? And then we'll go from there. So,
Excellent. Excellent. Looking
all
forward
right,
to
man. Good news though. Progress.
progress. Moving forward, $300. Better in my pocket than theirs, right? Take care.
Okay. See you.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Jerry.
What's going on, man? How you
It's
feeling today?
all about you.
No, that's not true. Tell me about the temperature in Katy, Texas, and I'll tell you the temperature in Youngstown.
Let's see. It's I don't know, probably in the 90s.
Thank you very much. 52 here in Youngstown, Ohio. Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Yes, yes. But I'm warm, so I'm a little warm-blooded, so this is the way I'm dressed. But
You know, about February,
yeah,
when I'm sitting here going, it's about 72 today, and you're going, well, we got about 16 feet of snow. So never mind. Moving right along.
you've heard of Ohio, then I take it.
Last time I was in Ohio, it was snowing,
Really?
and that was years ago. Yeah, many, many years ago. I was leaving Cleveland.
Well, I'm just right around the corner from Cleveland, man. Just an hour and a half away. Boom, there it is. So, yeah, we get the lake effect sometimes. But anyway, I wanted to tell you something, man, because I watched the videos. You may have known if you've talked to Dave that, Personas
Yeah.
gave us 6.5. I think he might have been on that call, but gave us a 6.5. I watched a bunch of videos, and then I went to Dropbox because you had sent me Marriage in a binaural and ADM file. So what I wanted to do was to kind of like show you what I'm doing, and maybe you can guide me in the right direction if I'm doing something wrong, because I want to be able to hear it appropriately. I should grab my headphones too. Hold on 1 second right here. I had said I had these VSX headphones.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make sure that I'm as close to you guys as possible in the listening experience. All right. So here we are. And by the way, thank you for your time. You guys are always like answering the phone when I'm calling. I feel important, by the way.
Well, good. Well, that's because so far we like all your calls.
Oh, well, thank you. So far, I like that. So far.
Well, you got to leave yourself a little wiggle room,
Right.
Maybe you're just calling at the right time,
That could very well be.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'm going to do, man. I'm going to share my screen because I want you to be able to see this. And
Okay.
of course, for all of you out there watching this podcast, we're just using Zoom rather than my normal Wirecast. And so I got to get acclimated to the buttons that I'm using. But so you're over here. Let me know if you can see that.
I can. Yes.
So I have up what you guys call a binaural file here, and
Yes,
then
sir.
here's the renderer. That looks familiar to you? That looks like what you guys use in
Yeah, it's a little different layout, but yes, I understand it.
all right. Um,
Each company is a little bit different, but the basics are the basics.
oh, okay. Very cool. Well, then here also, let me just move that off to the side a minute because in this, I'll take this browser off. Um, there is here a different, like, you recognize that there?
Yes.
And then I think there's something going on over here. Here's another one where in the videos I was watching that there's like the overhead.
Yeah, but that's not necessary for binaural.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Binaural, you just pretend all the settings should be just for like stereo
Okay.
because
All right.
that's what it is. I mean, there's a technical difference, but it's only two channels binaural.
I see.
Hence bi being two.
Binaural.
So all you're going to hear is on two channels. So any setting up for all like craziness in the room, it's not going to matter. It's only going to come out two channels.
I got you. So what about this? Is this important for this to be here? Because I want to play it and just, I mean, of course, you're familiar with the song. You mixed it. So,
Yeah. Well, you
'cause-
probably, like when you hit play, it's probably just going to show up on the left and right meters.
all right, let me see what happens. I'll drag it back over, but I'm going to hit play now. Okay. Uh-oh. Something happened there as I was moving it off screen. There we go.
I'm not even sure why it says left top middle, right top middle. And
Oh,
so
really?
I'm not even sure why those are even.
You're talking about these over here?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's interesting because I don't know why.
I
Let's see
don't,
what's
I don't know
going
either.
on over here.
Uh, well, I'll tell you what, it could
Hey, let me
be,
stop.
go back to your renderer
Okay.
and you see where it says bed format
Yes.
7.1.2. Click that. What are the other choices? I would say go to stereo.
Stereo. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Stereo.
that really for binaural is I think all that you really need to hear. You had it selecting, going from the bed, but just the binaural. This is not exactly what I'm used to seeing, with
I
our
see.
renderer. But that's why I said I was surprised that it came back anywhere but just left and right.
Gotcha.
Because again, it's only two channel.
I see. So when I'm here, I'm thinking it's starting at the beginning. So that's what I should look for in a binaural mix and making sure that the bed format is up here.
I think so. But if we explored this more, with the company, they may say something different. But I mean, binaural is only two channel. So
Okay.
whenever I see binaural coming out of more than two, that's what I don't understand. It's like, but it's only two channel.
Gotcha.
Unless it's sending something there with that setting, and I'm not sure.
Let me see. It's not hurting anything if I hit it again.
No,
I don't think.
I don't think it's.
Oh, but now look, it's not doing it anymore. See that?
I do see that. So I
Maybe
still
that
think,
was just,
yeah, I don't know why it was doing that, but now it's not. So, I have noticed this on all, computers, there is so much information with the whole Atmos world there. So much more than when we're doing, even though, we have these DAWs and they have all this information that's going on, they basically are going out 2 channels. And now you have a whole nother system that's on your computer that's set up to go out, a minimum of 12 channels, because some of these can even go more. Uh, and I just know that every once in a while the computer just kind of goes, Uncle, I give for the moment, and have to stop and not always reboot the computer, but sometimes I
yeah,
have, for it to go, now okay, we're back to where we're supposed to be. Especially if we do a lot of going back and forth, for different setups.
yeah,
Sometimes it works flawlessly, and sometimes it doesn't. So I've had to learn patience and to not freak out and not go, oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? I mean, I've had plenty of times when it was operator error of what we're doing, but sometimes it wasn't at all. And it's like with what we just did there. I had questions about that, but then when you swapped and then you went back, it was doing like what I thought it should have been doing to begin with.
right. Well, tell me this then, because you also sent me the ADM. So what I want to do, let me share the screen again. Danny, but
That's what I want you to listen to.
you want me to hear the ADM
ADM.
file.
Yeah.
All right. So let me move this out of the way. And all I believe I did was just remove that track and import it. ADM file.
Yeah. What? Hey, never mind. Never mind.
Uh-oh. Well, wait a minute. It says codec not supported.
Okay.
Why would that be?
All right. Go back. Do that. Now go back to import file again under the song. Now do this for me. Open that up where I can see the whole title. No. Up in yeah, but there's like a line. Take your mouse. No. Oh well, that shows too. But that if you go to the top, you see where the number is.
The number.
Go to the right. Go to the right. To your up. See where title. Go to your left. No.
Title.
There. No. We now go to the number. Right. Okay. Now click that. Somewhere in there, you should be able to draw that to the right, and it'll automatically show you the title. No, or not.
Ah.
There, that, no. Well, okay, that's a different program.
Now, usually I'm going here to see the total title or here.
Okay. Well, then,
Now, this one here says ADM as well. So is this the one that I was supposed to click? Could not import file. Huh.
probably one of
Maybe
the others.
let me see. Open this here. It's importing over here. All right. So there we go. That's the ADM file.
Yes, sir.
And here, over here, just dragging the renderer back. I see the objects.
Yeah, and you see those little dots?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the objects.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I remember watching the video, Mike Enjo's video, and that's what he was showing me. So I'm gonna hit play.
Okay, but now wait a minute.
Oh, sorry.
Go up to where, for the headphones, where you have to click where it says binaural.
Okay.
Will it go to something else? No, never mind. Leave it that.
Okay.
And speakers, stereo. Well, that's all you have. So that's
Well,
it.
we go. Do I need that to go down to 7-1?
Try it. And then hit play and see what it sounds like. Now, are you hearing this in your phones?
Yep, let me see. Hold on 1 second. I just thought I should do something else first. I'm coming in here. Oh, the only thing is, like, I'm not hearing in my headphones, I'm not hearing like the saxophone. I'm hearing the guitar, the drums, and the bass. That's really interesting. Maybe it's because, let me hit stop. What if I put these speakers in stereo like we had them?
Do that, because what that might mean is you were only getting the bed.
Ah. Okay, it's really low. Let's see what I'm doing wrong here. Yeah, it's really low. So now I'm not hearing any.
Well, let me say this too, though. The ADM files are going to be a lower level than the binaural.
Okay. Okay.
The reason that that's going to be louder in binaural is because that's all of the separate tracks down into two. It's combining all of those.
I see.
It's a louder level than when they're separated.
I see. This one here, I was just checking the differences between what they were saying with the extended headphone outs. I'm going to start that in the here. Okay. Now I can pretty much hear everything on here with the binaural stereo. And this is with this enable additional headphone output. If I turn that on, I can still hear everything. It just doesn't seem as loud as when I enable it. That's I can tell you this, man, that's a really nice mix from the few seconds that I'm hearing it. It sounds, it sounds like, can I say this to the Danny Jones? It sounds like mine, but better. Can I say that?
Oh, please do.
Yeah, that sounds good, man.
Well,
I mean,
thank you.
that's I don't again, I don't want to start from the beginning all over every time. I want to go into some of them. Now, you were telling me one more thing I wanted to ask. You were telling me that the when we were in binaural, that this adjustment that I made here would not necessarily work.
No, where that's going to work is if you have a speaker set up.
Okay.
Because
okay.
As cool as the headphones are, and I know that you spoke with Dave, and we've shown all these headphones that we have over here.
Yeah.
But they're still headphones. I mean, the reason that I like my favorite of the four that we have over here are these Olos. I don't know. There's just something about, I hear a little more depth. I like the frequency response better. I just think the quality is a better to listen to. And then people like, Barry was over, and he said, I feel like I hear a little more spatial going on, and maybe yes, but I can sit here and listen to the same mix and the same everything, but I listen to each of these speakers of these headphones, and they all sound different.
Wow.
So the mix you have to know, your speaker system, which is, a headphone is a speaker system as well. And so it's really important that you know how music sounds in your headphones. Because like I
Absolutely.
said, I can go and I listen to all of these and they sound different. Same mix, same system, same everything, but just different headphones, and they sound different. But it still needs to sound good,
Right.
on
Right.
all of those. But things like a bass response, the high end is going to be a little different. But that's just the way speakers are. That's why people, like with stereo mixing, and you and I've talked about this before. I have 2 or 3 different speaker systems that I check things on. Uh,
Right.
Not so easy to do in Atmos. I mean, matter of fact, I can't do that because
Right.
even when I'm listening in headphones, and here's the challenging part for me. I get to what I think is a really nice sounding mix in this room. And then I go, okay, let's go to the headphones so that you can hear, so that I can hear what you're going to hear.
Right.
And then, I'll make some changes. Sometimes it's real subtle, sometimes it's no change, and then sometimes it's some big changes,
Mhm.
to go, oh, wait a minute. I want to make sure that, this translates, because I know that you're making decisions off of what you hear.
Right.
And, if you're here in the room, then that's a whole nother animal, because that way
Absolutely.
you're getting to hear everything in here and you go, oh, yeah, man, I really like that. Or I really don't. And we need to make some changes. But
Yeah.
so I'm having to mix kind of for both,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Right.
and, and not that that's a bad thing, but it's an annoying thing, from my perspective. But then, at the same time, I think about all the stereo mixes. I mean, how many times have we, taken the cassette or the CD or the flash drive out to the car,
Right.
and you make notes. It's got to pass the car test first.
Absolutely.
But so far, not yet, not as of this date. I mean, you can take the binaural mix and check that in your car.
Correct.
Okay.
That's yeah.
And I haven't in a while, but have done that. But it has to pass the car test. But soon it's going to be coming. I mean, I ran into some friends the other day, and they're not music people at all, in terms of like professional recording people. But she says she has a new Lincoln, and there's something like 20 speakers in the car. And that's today. That's out. That's her current vehicle that she drives.
My
Now,
goodness.
I'm not sure that that's Dolby Atmos,
Yeah.
but I know other vehicles are claiming to come out with it. But when she already has 20 speakers in her car now, shoot, you don't think it's not coming?
Well, let me ask you this because Dave was talking about this MP4 format. I mean, is that what they're playing in the cars now? The
I have
MP?
no idea. I really don't know. I have not. I don't know if MP4. Now isn't that a Mac format?
Well, I know it's a video format for sure, and I know that I
Right.
use it in Windows, but I don't, with 20 speakers, I'm just trying to figure out because you guys only have like 11 speakers in
Well,
the room, 12 where you are. So 20, I'm just trying to I, I'm trying to ask questions that I don't know anything about just to see if I
yeah.
can.
I told him. I said, "Hey, I want to hear this." I tell you, you show me your car, you can come in my studio, and I'll show you my speakers. So, but we
Honest,
haven't done that yet.
honestly. Well, here's what I'm gonna do, Denny. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna watch a couple more videos. This is really like literally my first listen, and I know you haven't yet got to incipients or obfuscating euphemisms. But here's what I'm gonna do so that on our next call I can be a little bit more advanced. I'm gonna watch a couple more videos, and then what I'm going to do is just make sure that this extended. Let me. Oh, I've stopped sharing the screen. But with respect to the Dolby Atmos renderer that's on here, with the enabling the additional headphones, I want to know what is the standard so I can make sure that I'm listening to it the way you sent it.
Got it.
From
Well,
these.
I know this. I prefer to listen, even though it's headphones, but I would rather listen to the ADMs through the renderer than the actual binaural.
Okay, gotcha.
Now, is there like tons and tons of difference? No, but I feel like listening to the ADM going through our system here sounds better to me than listening to the binaural.
I see. I see. Gotcha. Well, so what point does the binaural serve then if the ADM is the dog?
Well, because the only reason you're able to listen to this now is because you have a renderer. Before you got this, as you know, we didn't even send you ADMs.
Disjointed. It was this, yeah.
Yeah,
You're right.
well, it wouldn't play back.
Right.
You
Correct.
know, whereas binaural will play back on anything.
That is correct.
I
Yeah.
say anything. I think anything. You know, anything that has two channels.
Yeah.
You know, that should work. And you know, it is really close. I mean, if you hate it, then it's probably a bad mix. Because you know, we're talking subjective here.
Certainly.
You know, with all art, and certainly mixes are that way too. But again, if you know your speakers really well and you listen to it and you just go, no, this is like totally not what I thought. And it may be not what you think, but
Right.
I mean, if it doesn't make sense, you know, no matter what mix is, you know, the integrity of the music has still got to be there. It's still got to make you feel good,
That's true.
you know.
True.
But this is, you know, with this one project that we turned into a record company recently, you know, Dave was doing the talking with them about you know, how to listen to it, and it's a record company, so they said we know how to listen. You know, I mean, they weren't being condescending. They were just,
Yeah.
you know, they said, no, we know how to listen to this, because this wasn't the first Atmos thing, you know, that they had done. And they listened to it and they said, sounds great, man. Sounds great. We loved it. So there were no revisions. I mean, we were good to go. And, you know, we were concerned because we didn't know how much of that they'd actually done. But, you know, when you deal with someone, and I mean, like, you're a lot more advanced than as far as knowing about recording than most of the other clients that I've had so far. I mean, you have your own studio, you know, you're a mixer, you're a producer. So you get it. But I mean, I got this one client, and he's a great musician, but he don't know nothing about this stuff, you know.
Wow.
You know, he didn't even know how to get files to us.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when I'm dealing with someone like that, it's a little different than dealing with someone that has the experience that you do, because first of all, everybody understands it's newer technology, and you know, it may take us a while to figure out how to listen to all of this.
Sure.
You know, I mean, it was wonderful when you ended up having, you know, this renderer, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and again, getting it like you did, good old PreSonus, you know.
God bless you guys, PreSonus, man, because that was it. I mean, I was on the verge of the $300 clip. Now, what if I would have spent the $300 and then they would have dropped it the next day? You know, I don't know if Abbott would have given me my money back, but
Oh, I doubt that very seriously, but you know, but
hey,
you know, I mean, but there's, and I don't know that's any better or worse than the
yeah,
PreSonus, but it works. I mean, it's really good. So it would not have been a waste of money, but I understand, you know, if you can get it for free,
yeah,
you know, yeah, of course.
absolutely, absolutely.
I wish you know what, Nuendo should have that thing for free. You know, there actually is one in Nuendo, but it doesn't do all the things that the other renderer does. Like
Oh,
for example, we do through our renderer that's in Nuendo, we can do ADM files, but we have to take our ADM files now, and that's as far as that will go. if we want to make binaural or MP4s, we have to open it up in our Dolby renderer to make them from there. So that's just another step. So again, my hat's off again to PreSonus for making that, available. And I guess you can do that. We haven't actually talked about that.
No, and I'm just learning how to listen to things in it. I think the next step for me and most people who are stepping into this platform, you guys are a certified Dolby laboratory, Dolby Atmos, certified. But
Yep.
with me, my next thing is going to be like, how do I even begin? Because I don't have the 12 speakers around me in any of the studios I work out of yet. To be able to put a mix together that is going to get into the Dolby Atmos world, and I don't know what I'm doing. Hopefully some form of AI or something will come and help. And like Dave said, maybe Steven Slate will create a virtual room for these VSX headphones where I can say, oh, because now I know what it sounds like on a car, on a cell phone, they help on a boom box. They really help with their virtual rooms. But if they give us a Dolby Atmos room, then it's on. Now I can at least have a clue.
Yeah. Well, for us, and for me, as a mixer, just learning the system to begin with, Dave and I, we scratched our heads, many times
Countless times.
with this. And, when we finally got to a point is we were sending things off to a great mastering engineer, someone that I had met, several years ago. And every time I went to watch a webinar on Dolby Atmos, he was on there explaining this. So I thought, you know what? I know this guy. I'm going to send to him. So, as a mixer, I really look to him to give some guidance, especially in the beginning. And he did, and I listened to him. And every time I got something back from him, I was like really pleased. So there gets to a point where that's why, when you choose people to work for you, you want people who at least you think kind of know what they're doing, or so that the end result, and especially, the end result, as far as the creative process, is mastering, and that's why when I do something, I do a mix as good as I can do it, but then I send it to this great mastering engineer, and he does his thing, and it comes back. And I remember one time he told me, he said, man, this was a really great mix. And then he sent me back his mastered version. And I said, well, thank you, but man, you just took my great mix and bam, made it better. You made that comment about, oh, I listened to my mix, only it sounds better.
Yes.
Were you saying that?
Yeah.
That's what I say when a great mastering engineer, does, what he does. He has stuff that he has more intense tools than I do, in mixing. And he only has that, well, I say that many, there's a lot of objects, there can be a lot of channels.
Yeah.
But he has stuff that is especially made for mastering to make that even better. And so far, I've been real pleased, and the clients have been real pleased.
So for the record, that's the same guy that these mixes are going to.
That is correct. Yeah. Those aren't always the cheapest people to go to.
I understand.
But you know what? I mean, you kind of get what you pay for.
Truth.
So I understand everybody, including us. I mean, we want to make a good deal, and we get a little bit better deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we're doing more and more, and they're giving us some discounts.
That's good.
With it.
That's good.
I don't know if I can say all of this or not,
well,
being recorded.
I mean, I personally appreciate the opportunity that you guys are giving me to walk through the process of what it looks like, so that those, again, when we started this podcast series, it was the audience who are made up primarily of musicians who may want to walk through this process themselves, so they could see kind of what I'm going through, and you guys are being patient with me because it's like on the job training. I'm learning. Hey, this is what I hear, this is what I don't hear, and you're going, well, you got to get this, you got to move that in place, and I'm great with it. So everybody learns as we go along. So thank you
Yeah.
for leading me by the hand, man. I appreciate that. You
Oh,
and
yeah.
Dave, absolutely.
Oh,
But I
we
think
enjoy it.
here's
You know,
what I'll do.
all
I'm
of us are
sorry.
still learning.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
we're still learning, but you know, it's a chain. You're taking me by the hand, and the mastering engineer is taking you by the hand, and we're all just
yeah.
going along together. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to learn this. Like I said, this was my first listen. I'm going to watch a couple more videos, and then as you send the other two, what I think we'll do is create an episode where I'm going through the process of all three of them, and then we'll come back and be prepared for what I need for mastering from that point, and you guys will lead me by the hand on that as well.
Okay.
Right? Well, from that point, it'll be you guys prepping for mastering, and then the folks can see your process between B and C. I was A, so A to B, you guys from B to C.
Okay.
Is that cool?
That sounds great. So yeah, just listen to everything and tell me how much you love all the mixes that we're
I
gonna,
promise.
and we'll go from there.
Absolutely. That's Danny Jones. I'm Jerry B. We're entree musicians, but the most important thing is so are you. So we'll see you next time on Milestones and Steps Ahead. Peace.